Good evening and welcome everybody to the regular Gilbert City Council meeting of February 10th, 2026. Call the meeting to order, and could we have a roll call, please?
Councilor Bertocci.
Present.
Councilor Gilbert.
Here.
Councilor Patton.
Here.
Mayor Oberstar.
Here.
And Councilor Redmond Hendrick, I will have to look up, sorry. Or,
Absent with notice. Yeah.
absent with notice.
Yeah.
And we have Thai teacher, Marion, Lloyd, and Lori.
All right, we have enough for a quorum for a meeting here. Now, would everybody help me with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we have some additions to the agenda tonight, and try to remember these. Number 2, oh, that's on the agenda already. Abidal, number 4, Abidou services for completing 2023-2024.
That would be H on old business, is what we had.
Yeah, well, I got 2 doggone agendas over here now. Okay, that's under H, under old business. Also, we're bringing number 3, IT discussion,
Yep, that was
services for Gilbert.
B on new business.
Under new business. Well, I don't know what orders, I had that under B, yeah.
Yeah. And
The
then
Abidal was under,
old business.
had number
H.
number 8.
Yep, under old business.
Okay, now I have number 4, number 8. I had agreement for professional services of enterprise trail construction under new business, correct?
Yep, that was, no, that was under old business. I had that as I under old business.
Was that a continuation of the other agreement, something?
Yep.
Okay. Plus, we had number 6, number 5, purchasing a Toro Workman for campground.
Yep, so that was now C under new business.
I thought IT was number C.
Nope, that's B. B is in boy.
Okay.
C is A5.
Yep.
Number 6 is number D. Number 9 is number E. E is number 9 of working session. Number 10 is F. Eleven is number G, the letter G. And 12, boards and commission, I. H, E, F, G, H, yeah. Number 12. Okay, I think we covered it all there.
I will go ahead and make a motion to accept the movements and additions to the agenda as noted.
Motion by Councilor Skirby, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Vertochnik, to add all the items just mentioned and to the agenda of the regular meeting. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Okay. We have the consent agenda to pass. My question on the consent agenda is on the minutes of our regular meeting. At the end, the last page, we approved a special meeting for February 2nd. And I don't see no minutes for February 2nd special meeting on the consent agenda or in the packet at all. So
No, I need to.
that special meeting needs to be recorded because you had it. If you look at the minutes of this January 27th, Counselor, at the last back page, we did make of the minutes.
Yeah, yep.
We did make that legal, so we need those minutes
Yep.
to be approved. And not to forget, we'll just have to add them on to our next meeting,
Yep.
I guess, because we're not, huh? Yeah, okay, we'll make them, it's unfortunate we don't have them now, but that's the way it goes. And let's make sure we get that on our next meeting, okay? All right. Other than that, with that, said that in the consent agenda motion would save us legality here. Because we have to okay all the previous meetings to move forward, you know what I mean?
I will move to accept the consent agenda with the issue noted.
I'll second.
You got that noted?
I have it noted.
Okay.
I'll second.
Moved by Counselor Skirvik, supported by Counselor Ponte to approve the consent agenda with the notation that the omission of the February 2nd minutes are not in the consent agenda, and they will be presented to the council at the next February 24th meeting, correct? For approval. Huh?
Our next regular meeting is the 24th.
24th. Yeah, 14 days. Any other corrections, additions, or deletions, or on there? Everybody okay? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right, public input. Anybody in the audience tonight have anything they wish to discuss with the council other than what's on tonight's agenda? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll move forward. Reports by mayor and council. Councilor Vertochnik.
Since items from the agenda, from the working session were transcribed to the new old business section, I don't have anything at this time.
Thank you. Councilor Ponte.
I don't have anything tonight either.
Councilor Skirvik.
I've got two issues. So one, I know that Lynn and Marion are aware of this, but just to have the discussion about it. So citizens have brought to our attention that Circle K is currently doing upcharging for the cost of the garbage bags. We currently charge a rate of $13 for a large bag. They are charging $17.25. And we charge $6.50 for the small bags. They are charging $8.75. And so I just want to kind of bring that up as an issue as to, it doesn't seem to me that that's something that is in the best interest of our citizens to have a markup. And so my recommendation, and anybody is welcome to chime in here, is that we should not be selling our garbage bags, which are essentially an assessment of a city service. We should not be allowing a vendor to mark up that service. And so I think we need to look for a resolution with that, because it's the feedback I've received has been it's extremely unfair, and it's a huge price increase that our citizens are not expecting. So I think we need to figure out what we do with that.
I agree, because, basically what that is a tax. So you can't tax a tax, and that's what they're doing. Maybe they're just not aware of that. I don't know, maybe they haven't been told that they can't do it. I don't know.
Right.
But it has to be explained to them or whatever. And then if they say, well, no, we're not gonna agree to it, then we'll have to look at another location to sell the bags at no extra charge,
Yeah. I mean, I think in my mind, within the city, we do have other opportunities to sell these bags. Our library is open till 8 o'clock. So we could have that available at the library potentially. In the summer months, we also have a campground that has retail hours. We could have the campground store be able to distribute them. But we also have other retail in town that would be able to pick this up if Circle K is not willing to have these in stock without a markup. So I guess my thought is that maybe we could have the office staff take a look at and call them and see what is the deal. I don't know if they're even aware that they can't mark up, and start there to see what some facts are so we can get this problem corrected.
Yeah, my question is, this has been going on for, Holiday has been selling these up there for 30 or 40 years already now. Now, this has happened lately,
Holiday didn't charge any extra.
Yeah.
Holiday, Circle K, no, that's what the
Circle K
change is.
now that's where the change came in.
Okay.
And with all of the changes that they've renovated the interior of the building now, and it's clearly that it's clear they have some different management directions. I don't know what some of those directions are. I'm not on that side.
Well, that's my confusion here. 30, 40 years we haven't had this trouble. Why now? And now I see why, because of the new ownership of Holiday. Well, we need to fix that, because there's no need for our citizens to pay more than before. And we have to get that, huh?
They could discontinue garbage services through the city.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have
They have to be
to,
informed that they can't, they're still gonna be charged our fee.
That's how
Yeah.
and I know now, I've told them that.
Yep.
well, either that we get something cleared over there, or we remove it from over there.
Okay, I will contact them and find out.
We remove and we figure out another solution, but we certainly cannot continue this way.
And in terms of their commercial garbage service, we'd also need to maybe take the opportunity to let them know that they are going to be charged the $40 per month in service.
They handed it out already, the engineer, yes.
Yeah.
Everybody okay with all these,
So if they decide that, no, we're gonna still upcharge it, if they keep the same charge that we charge
we gotta
everybody else
remove
for
it,
City Hall,
remove it.
we can leave it there, but if they do the upcharge, should we automatically go to somewhere else in town? Should we bring it to the library right away?
Well, I think we collect the information first. There's
we have-
nothing, nothing critical about it. If they want to continue to upcharge them, if that's what we find out, then I would say we pause. We tell them, hey, we don't want you to sell bags until we get this figured out. And then you can bring back the information to us, or Marion, you can bring back the information.
They might just deliver them back to us, because they don't have to do that, so. We don't want to make them mad either.
No, but
No.
I'll tell them that we're looking for information and we want to know why there's this upcharge, and that's not the purpose of them having them,
Yeah,
to make money on
yeah,
Gilbert citizens.
yeah. And why can't we get the same agreement we had, if there was agreement with Holiday?
So, and again, they may not know.
Exactly.
Right.
So it may be confusion on both sides, so I want to at least get the information first, so. So the other one that I have, and this is, I'm not sure even if you got this one, I just got an email the other day from Minnesota Firewood. This was personal to me, but I did find out from it that they had sent out the email to all of their vendors, or all of their purchasers. Minnesota Firewood, that's who the city purchases our firewood from, and they essentially wanted to get kind of a reading on what their springtime demand is, because they tend to get, our campground is opening, we need to have X amount of firewood. So they're trying to get ahead of the curve. And so I know in the past, it's been, at least this last year, it's been the practice that at the beginning of the year, we would buy a semi-truckload worth of firewood. That's roughly about $10,000 in expense, and then we let it kind of go throughout the year and see where our supply is before we do a reorder. So because of the dollar amount, that's why I bring it up, is to see if, if we would go ahead and, approve to have that communication back to them, that's our plan to do it. But I wanted to have some conversation about that first, because it sounds to me like that's the right thing. It's worked for us for a couple of years now, and I think it's worked well. But wanted to at least bring it up as a discussion point.
I think we have to buy it in bulk. And now that we have a garage that has a door on it down there, we have ample space to store it.
Yeah.
How much is it in truckload? Do you know before?
And I think last year,
I used to
I think
know
we
that.
only had like 4 pallets left
Yep.
of all that firewood.
We do get on a per bundle basis because we buy in such large quantity. So last year our price was, and this would be an opportunity for us to ask the pricing, but our price was, I believe, $4.55 a bundle, and we sold retail $7. So we made about a 35% markup as a result of that. And we didn't have to do any adjustment in our prices. Now, we can buy, a half semi-load or a different truckload. It's a smaller amount, but then your cost per unit goes up, and we make less as far as a margin. So there is definitely an advantage in buying a large amount in bulk.
Would you want to make a motion to do that?
You want to get prices, or do you want to just do it, or what?
I think maybe you can reach out. I can forward my contact to you. It's the same person. Actually, I'm sure Dawn probably already got the same email yesterday or the day before. So, but it's just, to reach out to them to find out what the pricing is going to be. I
Then
guess
we can get it exact for next meeting?
Yeah. So then we can make the approvals. So I don't think that it's urgent that we have to do it today.
So there's a half load they offer too, or what?
They do.
Is
It's a
that-
higher price though.
Yeah, right, okay.
So.
Do we know how much we go through?
We go through, last year we went through, I think, pretty much a full semi-truckload.
Oh.
Because we had, I don't remember what we started with. It was probably about the same amount. We had about 4 or 5 pallets in reserve. And then we ordered a new semi-truck, and that took us pretty much the full season.
So we use the semi-truck, and then we have that for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you saying we're using the sewer plant garage down there for storage?
Yep, we got a garage door on it now.
Yeah.
And we
got
used
screening
the
up so there's
arena.
no pigeons in it.
Yep, we used the arena for a portion of that too, until we got, once you get to basically 4th of July, we had enough where we can store it down there.
Okay. Very good. We'll move it on to the next meeting, and maybe.
And then everything else I have is all on the agenda, so.
All right, I have everything else on the agenda too, but I just want to remind everybody in Gilbert is watching this meeting, maybe Friday night on TV, this Saturday afternoon at about 1:30, 2 o'clock, we will be having at the Rock Ridge High School gym, honoring the 75th anniversary of the Gilbert class of 1951 championship basketball. Only one class for the whole state of Minnesota, Gilbert champions of 1951. We're going to honor them with their 75th anniversary in the Gilbert at Rock Ridge High School gym at 2 o'clock Saturday, February 14th. I will be bringing a trophy and hopefully that picture over there, if we can get it off the wall. And there'll be other people there as well with different artifacts of that era, clippings of old newspapers, and so what Mr. Speltz has in mind over there, he's organizing all of this, but I hope that we have a good contingent from citizens of Gilbert that were around at that time there, because it is too bad Mr. Snyder couldn't make it. He was not too far, he didn't pass away not too far down the road here, and he could have been the last survivor there that I know of on that team. And he was Andy, yeah. And too bad for that. But anyway, it's a big deal. I mean, we have a championship team there. That was the 39th championship game. So please attend if you can make it, February 14th at the Rock Ridge High School gym. Other than that, we have lots of stuff on the agenda. We're going to get through it. Get down to number C, City Chief of Police Thai teacher.
In lieu of the agenda, I think I will hold off tonight, so.
What's that?
I will hold off tonight in lieu of the agenda items.
Anybody got anything for Ty?
I pre-warned you about this. One of the other issues I wanted to wait for Ty's point on here. So it's also come to my attention that there are some citizen complaints. I forwarded one that I've gotten an email from. I've got another one in my inbox too about specific addresses where we have citizens that are have plowed out their front lawns for additional parking off-street. But they appear to be parking on the city sidewalk, which is a pedestrian right-of-way. And so we've received a couple of complaints about those. And so, Ty, if you can speak to the one that I have, and I'll send you the other one that I have.
So yeah, under city ordinance, you cannot park on a sidewalk. We've had the issue with the parking before. You know, I've been here since 1999, and it's always been, it comes and goes with the issues. We had the complaints of people parking on the boulevards. That was our biggest issue, is parking in boulevards. By ordinance, there's nothing in the boulevard, it says that you can't park in the boulevard. There's nothing in the ordinance that prohibits that on the new ordinances. However, most of the boulevards are not wide enough, so technically they're on the sidewalks. So we can certainly enforce that. A few councils ago, it was an issue, and it was brought up that, well, nobody shovels the sidewalks anyways, and some people are pushing us to shovel all the sidewalks. Well, we've never enforcing clean the sidewalks in front of your house, which by ordinance you're supposed to do. I would say if you get up the 100 block on up, I bet there's less than 10% that actually shovel their sidewalks. So we've never enforced that. That would be a very large task if we did. I don't know how we would even do that especially when you have elderly people, handicapped, to enforce that. We have a handful of people that do park on the boulevard. One council was okay with it because it was off the street. We do have a problem on Wisconsin Avenue because we do have so many rental properties. There's so many more vehicles there. The street is very full. So people are parking on the boulevard, plus they're parking in front of each other. That's also on New Jersey Avenue, we're having that issue. So for some reason this year it has become an issue. Furthermore, it's also become an issue with people plowing it with littering with snow. So under statute, if you throw snow in somebody else's yard to make a parking spot, it's littering. So we can be cited with a misdemeanor. We try not to do that, but that's become an issue this year too. So we can certainly enforce it. It's pretty easy, write a ticket and we walk away. So, but I'm trying to prevent some things so people don't come to the council and confront you guys and say, well, we've been able to do this since, well, at least 1999 that I know of. So if we can certainly enforce it too, or we can talk to a few of the people and try to change the behavior a little bit, so.
In your estimate, how many spaces, or where they're going up and down the street, how many households have that situation?
I don't do calendar parking. I'd have a really good idea if I did calendar parking, but I would say we're at least 15 to 20 people are probably doing it. We have had one major issue on the 300 block of Broadway Street South. We have been issuing citations for actually blocking the Main Street sidewalk. We've had issues there, so I would have to take a closer look to give you exact numbers.
Again, my thought on that, it's been going on since I've been mayor in 1986. And yes, those ordinances are in effect, and we've had discussion about them before, about sidewalk shoveling, because when I grew up, the city used to plow all the sidewalks. due to budget cuts and levy increases, those kind of services have gone away and have been passed on to citizens. But, so, with the parking in the yard and stuff like that, and the boulevard, years ago, we okayed that, we kind of like ignored all that because we didn't want those, at that time, people were plugging in their cars. They didn't have remote controls at that time, like as much as we have now. Everybody's got a remote control starter. At that time, they had lines going across the doggone road, and the plow would snag them, or somebody else would snag them. So we didn't want those lines going across because of the calendar parking. So we allowed, and we could ignore, let them make some room on the boulevard or in their yard or whatever it needs to be, because they don't have a garage in the back or whatever the case be. So we didn't have these lines going across the road. Well, I don't know, if everybody use a soft plug heater now or not, I don't know.
Yeah, so one of the biggest issues with lawn and park on the boulevard is generally it doesn't hurt anything until March. When you get that spring thaw,
Yeah.
then you start dealing with ruts.
Well, they
and
know
that's when it
they're
becomes a
supposed to get
problem.
off by time, so, and if they damage the boulevard there, they know, people have been known that it's a rule that they fix the boulevard.
Well, they don't fix it though, that's the problem, so.
Well,
If we were to review, for example, the calendar parking portion of the ordinance's parking ordinance, and put in some form of an exception to allow for this style of parking in their yard, do you think that might be a possible fix for it? Obviously, we'd have to look at the details.
you mean ordinance?
Well, making a change.
Modifying it?
Yeah.
Yeah, modifying it so it's,
I mean,
At least the rules are the same for everybody.
It's up to the council. Obviously, we just enforce it, so it's whatever the council would like. Again, the one issue is going to be springtime. You know, you're going to have, it's muddy. And we enforce calendar parking through April there.
well,
So.
we had to say it has to be off by a certain date.
Yeah.
No more after April something.
Yeah, I mean, and that can that probably can change depending upon, how snowy of a year we're having too, or how cold of a year, I mean,
That could be spelled out.
yeah, I mean, we could
In the
easily
mornings.
issue out a date saying, we're watching this, and now it's too warm to have this style of parking, so now effective, this date, we could
Be
tell people,
removed.
hey, you can't do this anymore. Like,
Right.
we could word that into an ordinance.
Right. Right, or else we can even do that here.
Yeah.
There's other issues with an ordinance, though, because if you say they decide to park a trailer in their front yard, and an ordinance says that if a person next door you're blocking their view of why they have that house there, that's against the law also. You can't block somebody's view to have a nice view if they're sitting in their front yard, or their front porch or anything like that, looking out the window. And now you start putting all this stuff parked there. Are they gonna park a trailer in there? Are they gonna park a double wide in there, or whatever?
We could specify that it's for single, like motor vehicles only, not trailers, not, we can, like,
There's box trucks that are a motor vehicle. Can you park that in your front yard?
You
You
know,
have to
I-
get pretty specific on it.
yeah, we can definitely, we could drill down and get as specific as we think we need to do. And maybe that might be something that, as your team is going through and as the officers are going through, we can take a look at what are the types of vehicles that are in there. Generally, it's cars and pickup trucks. From what
I'll
I've
get
seen.
some photographs and stuff to give you some ideas.
Yeah.
'Cause some of the issues too is if they park too close to the curb, does it help in snow removal? To a point, but if they can't push it up over the curb because the car's too close, then there's the city's dumping it right on the street.
Yeah.
So you've got some other issues there, but then they're on the sidewalk. So you've got some issues there that are, there's not a real good, you're not going to make everybody happy. It's pretty
and
much.
I think engaging Sam and his crew as well to see, like, does this help? Does this hurt? Because I know that there are a couple of blocks that we have a lot of rentals on, and I can think of a couple of them offhand where this type of thing is happening, and maybe makes it a little bit easier to get rid of the snow on the streets, you know? And so it's, I think we can find a balance between it.
Yeah, and it's generally the rental properties, and, you know, just to kind of go off a little bit, but we've had one rental property in town here, I think we've been there 13 times in the last month. I mean, it's literally been 10% of our calls. So we've got a couple, with some of these rental properties, the owners don't live anywhere near here, and we're dealing with a lot more issues with rental properties. And we tried to do a rental ordinance about 10 years ago, and I said I would never, ever bring a rental ordinance up again because I just about ran out of here when we tried to do that. So, but we're starting to see more issues with the rental properties. In fact, the rental properties accounts for 56% of our disturbances in town, but only makes up about, what is it, 14 or 15% of our actual residences. But it's becoming some of our bigger issues, so. And the parking's also one of them, because you've got duplexes now, and everybody seems to have 2 cars per household, so now you got 4 cars for one residence, so.
Well, what are you gonna tell your,
I think, you know, I can continue to work with Ty on that to figure out if there's, you know, if there's a possible remedy for either reviewing an ordinance or whatever. So I guess I'll wait to hear more.
okay?
I think I mean, most of our ordinances are 1985, and they don't jive with today's environment. When you start talking about winter parking, now you're gonna get into summer parking, and everybody's gonna put their camper on the street
Yep,
in front of their house,
That's also a
and they're
problem.
gonna sit there for a month.
yep.
And
Well, we
you
have
got
a,
street cleaning and stuff like that, that doesn't happen. I mean,
well, there's an ordinance about 72 hours.
and they have to move it to a different block, they just can't move it to the same block.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen all the time either.
No.
We also don't have a policy of towing vehicles.
If you wanna work on ordinances, there you go.
Yeah, we do have some things that we can do on that, yep. And we have tagged for, especially specifically trailers. We generally wait for a complaint, but the ordinance is in place for that. It's 36 hours too. It's to be moved.
So any ordinance change wouldn't even take effect this year because it takes
No
so
way.
long to
No way.
change an ordinance.
No.
So you just gotta kind of deal with what you got now, without,
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
ordinance isn't gonna
Yep, this is
do anything. for it, yeah.
forward.
Right,
Can't
till
change.
next year probably.
We have less than 2 months to deal with this, so.
Right, yeah.
Okay, anything else for Ty?
Question? The cardboard crusher,
I have no idea where I'll have to talk to Sammy about that. We sold it, I thought.
still there?
It's still
So,
there, I just saw
okay.
it today.
Yeah, I have no idea. I put it online, and once it's sold, that wasn't my issue. They came one time to try to load it up, they had problems. And I even said that the city would probably help load it just because of the angle, and then I don't know whatever happened with it, so I'll have to talk to Sammy about that. So,
And Lynn, can you ask them about that? Okay.
Okay, anything else? Engineer, public works, campground, Deputy Clerk Lynn, you have anything?
Anything I have is on the agenda already.
Okay. I have one question for you, it's not on agenda. Any word back from LELS on a contract proposal?
I have not heard anything.
If they had a meeting on ratification or not?
I'll reach out to them.
Okay. Because it's been a couple of weeks already or more.
Yep.
Yeah. Council has, we came to a tentative agreement, and they were going to vote on it for ratification, and no word back. All right, nothing else? Okay, now we get into a lot of stuff. I'll tell you right now, I might miss something, so,
We'll keep them.
yeah, all right. Keep me on track. First of all, the check register for 2024 to 26/2026. Any questions?
We updated it to 2/9. There was a check that we needed to reduce, so the registers that is through 2/9, they did 2/9.
204 to 229?
Yes.
Okay, council, any questions for that? You're able to make a motion to approve?
I don't have any questions. I'd make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilor Vrtajnik, supported by Councilor Skirpik to approve the check register from February 4th to February 9th, 2026. Any more discussion?
I like that you're putting, what these checks are for. It makes it so much easier to follow. Thank you for that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. 4-0. Letter of support for landfill. Oh, I gotta go find that. All right, everybody got that letter from St. Louis County? I saw it in here, but I got it buried somewhere. Anybody got that resolution handy?
Got the letter.
Yeah, this is what I need.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
We're just gonna add the city of Gilbert into this resolution, but on behalf of the city of Gilbert, we don't have a number for this resolution, though. Well, this is their resolution anyway. We're ratifying their resolution. We're just plugging our city of Gilbert on here, okay? It's Senate File 330 and House File 573 is what the resolution is. Senate File 330 and House File 573. So everybody okay with, after many months of, let's give them our support and okay this resolution that Gilbert supports the St. Louis County attempt to develop the canyon site. It might be, that's not going to be for a few more years, but they're working on getting them ready now. So I'm looking for councils to support the St. Louis County Senate File 330 / House File 573.
I'll make that motion to support it, because I think last time we had a long discussion at our last meeting about how long the Virginia one is gonna last.
Yeah. Motion by Councilor Vrtajnik, support.
I'll second.
Support by Councilor Skirvik to support Senate File 330 / House File 573. Any more discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. League of Minnesota Cities Insurance Tort Liability. Oh, no, did Brian,
Talked about that at the last meeting, and we have not waived it in past years.
tort liability?
We have not waived it.
Okay, so we're going to keep it, we're okaying the League of Cities Insurance with the tort liability in place. Correct?
Yes.
That's what the motion should be, Council.
I will go ahead and make that motion to move forward with the League of Minnesota Cities insurance and not waive the tort liability.
Motion by Councilor Skirvik,
I'll second it.
second by Councilor Pontonen. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. North Shore Development Services available, Jason Hale.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to move forward with an agreement, a legal agreement with Jason Hale Services for North Shore Development, per our discussion with the review
And modification,
by
or
our
modifications
by our city attorney.
All right, moved by Councilor Skirvik, supported by,
Second.
second by Councilor Vrtajnik to support this agreement with Jason Hale with any modifications and review by our city attorney. Any more discussion? Only discussion is after this agreement that if it's passed, we direct Lynn to give it to Brian and then have him, and then if he's okay to go to Jason and get this discussion with our developer going. And maybe, or else we need to talk to Jason first. With the next working session. Okay, I think we'll put him on the next working session, and then council, I'd like to have everybody think about the next 2 weeks, what we should want to say to Jason going forward with the developers, okay? Rudy, bring something to the next working session, be ready to bring something to Jason to work with, okay? Because we're going to approve this here now. Tentatively, it's approved after Brian okays everything, all right? Any more discussion?
It's a free service, so it doesn't cost us anything.
Well,
If people wonder, if the public's wondering.
Yeah, so on the TA side of it, that's covered, that's for, looking through our ordinances and things like that to make sure that we have the structure.
Yeah.
But there would be a cost if they are advising us
Right.
in terms of a specific development.
Right.
So we're not talking about that $5,000 one? He mentioned for $5,000, he'd talk to the developer.
Retainer.
Yeah, that's the retainer. For
That
the
would
new-
come
that's-
later
That's
if we
what the new
decide
development.
to
So
use that.
there's two portions.
Yeah.
He would give us advice and services to help us look at, say, our ordinances around building and stuff like that. He would consult, that's covered under the TA agreement. And then anything that's working with a specific development, that's the retainer portion. And we don't start that until we've started getting ready to start doing a project. Right, so there's the $5,000 retainer, and then he would start doing the work.
Well, that's what I want to get at. Is that included in this motion?
No.
Yeah, that's part of the contract, that's part of what was, yeah,
In the agreement?
yeah.
Well, it could, yeah, but
Yeah.
we don't utilize it now. We're just taking the free part
Right,
for now.
right.
That we're approving tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
We're,
What he's asking, what you're asking here, that if Brian looks at it and we need his service, are we all in agreement that we would hire?
that's what I'm getting at. Both parts I want to get clear tonight that we should be doing, because next meeting, we want him to start talking with the developers.
So what we're talking about is the services available, the contract, that's saying that we agree to those terms. One of those terms is if we're doing a specific project, there is a charge for it with a retainer. That's part that would be determined only when we move forward with that project.
Yeah.
Which will be taken up maybe at the next meeting.
Correct.
Yeah.
If we decide we need it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be determined at the next meeting then. Okay.
Right, if the developers, the developers may not come around for another month or two or whatever, and you won't know if you need them until they come around.
Well, we've got a proposal tonight. They want to buy our piece of property. They want to buy the parking lot. They want to buy Orbegon. They said that tonight, 50 grand for the parking lot, 300 grand for Orbegon. We have a developer already want to develop.
Well, to be clear, they provided us a verbal instruction of what they would be going at. That is different than any type of agreement.
Right.
I won't be voting personally. I won't be voting on anything unless I see a contract in front of me.
Correct, and this is where Mr. Hale comes in with our talks with him.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're continuing down that path anyway.
So this is for me to send it to Brian, have him look at it, and then come back.
Yep.
And we'll put
And we'll-
Mr. Hale come back at our next working session for sure, and we'll talk about proceeding with this.
And
Well,
Now, that'll depend on whether Brian gets it back to me before then, but I will
Yeah.
ask him to do that.
All right. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Paul, make a
Yeah.
motion, and Bob second that motion.
Yes.
No, Rudy seconded.
I thought Bob did. Didn't you, Bob?
Rudy did.
Rudy did?
Yep, I wrote that down.
Okay. Rudy seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Well, developers will pass on that. I don't know if we need to, huh?
You know, when Sam was the light pole, the price.
Oh, yeah, this one. Okay, okay, I'm looking at this. Do we know where the break is? I look at the two prices. There's only $550 difference between the two prices. And I would like to stay with the regular pole there. So for another $550 and waiting till after May, get that boring done, or is there a fix to fix where it's broke and without putting a whole new line in? Just putting a whole new line in for $32.50, right? I would just go along with that. Let's wait till after May and agree to the boring and replacement of the line and leave the original light pole there with the new, without putting this big wooden thing there. And that's my suggestion on the council. It's only $550 difference and a little wait time.
Is that the pole right at the street here?
Yeah,
On that cross street?
yeah,
And the pole is on the upper side of the street
yeah,
with an LED light on it?
yeah.
Did I get another yeah?
Huh?
I got a yeah on that one. So that's the pole, you're gonna leave that pole, because it's not a wooden pole, it's a metal pole.
Well, it's $2,700 to put a wooden pole there,
No.
or wait for $32.50 and board and put a whole new line to wherever they can get power to that pole for another $550 after May 1st, though.
Right, because it's too much in the.
Yeah, that's what I would say, okay, wait till May 1st, after May 1st, and put the $32.50 involved in there. Okay?
Okay.
I'm okay. Everybody okay?
I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think the 3250, it's more consistent with what should be there.
And 4 years too late
It's gonna
already.
look better.
Yeah, 4 years overdue, sorry. I keep on, it's annoying to hear that, 4 years overdue.
You said 3 times now.
That's what I do, okay? That's what I do. Sorry, that's what I do. I'm sorry.
You smile.
Kind of like, I ain't gonna blame it on my Slovenian heritage.
So I'll make the motion for option 2 after May
Yeah.
1st.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Moved by Rudy, supported by Councillor Skirvik to approve the, I want to say replacement, but repair to that light pole on New Jersey Court for $32.50 after May with the new boring of the new line and get that thing operable, okay? Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Utility billing credit card fees. Lynn or Mary Ann, whoever.
Bob had asked at the previous meeting. Bob asked at the previous meeting what we pay in credit card fees. So as a follow-up to that meeting, that's what this shows. The first column is the total fees for the month, each of those months. The second one is for credit card fees, and the third column is for electronic check fees. So the total in the first column equals the 2 second columns, the second and the third column, just so we're clear. The number of sales is the number of credit card or electronic fund transfer customers that used this service. And the last one is the percentage of fees that we're paying based on the number of people. So the 2025, we paid for the entire year $11,789 in fees, of which the average each month was $982.45. This gives us information about what, if we wanted to charge a credit card fee, what it is that we're losing each month as an expense to offer that service.
And we've never recouped this money
No.
before? Not in a budget at all?
No, but that's the, that's the reason for the information, is so that we can decide if we want to do that, or Bob, you might want to speak to that.
Yeah, I think we should, because this is just gonna help keep our fees down, in other places, like, there may be a huge fee coming up when we do our water treatment plants, so this can kind of offset maybe some of that charges that we're gonna have to put in place here this year already. So I think any monies we can have coming in, I think we should do it. And if we charge a 3% charge like a lot of businesses do, I think we can recover this and be a little bit above, what we're putting out.
Let's do it then.
Well, so I've got some questions. So the check other fees, can you describe that a little bit? Is that literally to accept a check as a form of payment, or?
No, if you set up a bill pay from your checking account and it's a check.
Okay, so it's an ACH, transfer.
It's an ACH, it's an electronic funds transfer.
Okay.
It's other scenarios, you can set it up to automatically, PSN, you can set it up to automatically pull from your account. It'll just say, if the balance, whatever the balance is, just take this money. And so for them to actually do that is what those other fees are.
Okay.
Some of them are where people go in and they actually put in their credit card number. Some put in a checking or savings.
Okay. So is there an opportunity for, and I think the answer is yes, but I need you to confirm this. Is there an opportunity for people who are paying utility bills to still come into the office, pay by cash or check,
Yes.
and not have any service fees associated with that?
Yes.
Okay. Good, that's what I wanted to know. And then, so what you're saying is the combined total here, that it at the bottom is 1.78%. That's the
Average.
percent, that's the average percentage.
Average, yeah.
So one of the things that I do know about this, and it's, obviously you will work out the details of this, but my understanding is at least for credit card fees, but I don't know if this is true for ACH fees. For credit card fees, there is a law that stipulates we cannot charge more, we cannot make a profit off that. So if the charge that we are paying for credit cards, if those fees are 1.5%, we cannot assess a charge that's 3% and make a 1.5% profit off of that. That's not legal.
Okay.
So
So,
does
but
it have-
I don't know if we can do that with an
Yeah,
ACH.
so does it have to be exact, or
Yes.
like
Yes.
say 2% on a 1.98?
If this is something that is a pass-through to a consumer, it is only that cost that is passed through to the
Oh,
consumer.
because that's gonna vary from person
Well-
to person, then you can't have a umbrella type coverage then, like saying 2% charge. Because a 2% charge would only cover what we're losing now, and it'd be just a minute amount that you would
How does the state
take
get by with
profit.
that?
Well, see, that's what I don't know.
Because
So-
if you go to the DMV, they charge you a 2% fee to use your card.
Yep, it's a convenience fee.
Right.
So,
So every one of them, can't be exactly 2%.
Yeah, I think you
yeah,
gotta
there are
check on
there
that.
are some legalities and that has to do where Brian will need to check is where there should be a payments section in the PSN contract,
Okay,
because then they are the ones that then go to the credit card processing.
okay.
So that's where that information will be found, but we need to make sure that we're not doing anything above and beyond what we are allowed.
Right. I have more detail on the printouts that I have from PSN that tell me, I think it tells me that if the credit card fees how many people used credit cards versus how many used the check other fees. Because I have on here the number of sales are 224, but that's the combined for all of them. I think I remember it showing it on separate pages, so I think I can break out the number of sales to get specifically who used a credit card and who used a check.
I have a question. So when we're doing PSN, you know, they're going through the system, calling it in. Is it any different than when we're swiping the card because it's still PSN? So you're saying the fee for both, is what you're saying, right? The fee
Yes.
for both? Okay, I'm just trying to, because in my mind, I would think that if they are able to, we can figure out what our fees are because they charge us these fees. It shouldn't be like any other place, we should be able to figure out the fees for.
The distinction and the thing to look for in the contract language is an in-person transaction versus not in person. There is an allowance for a difference in charge between a card physically being presented to someone versus not being presented.
Okay. I'll look, I noted that, so.
We also do not charge for insufficient funds.
A what?
Insufficient funds. So if we have a check that gets returned.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it,
I mean, I
doesn't
think,
our bank charge us for that?
That's what we're saying. They charge us, and then we don't have the money, and we get a fee.
yeah. So when we go through and we look at our total fee schedule, I know that we do have the ability to charge an insufficient funds charge at the campground, but we should look at a citywide insufficient funds charge for any check that's rendered.
Yep.
So does that happen often?
No, I wouldn't say often, no.
Well, we haven't, in the past, we haven't been able to charge for insufficient funds?
Well, I don't think anybody has.
It's not
Oh,
been-
we haven't, so then
It's
it
not a
doesn't
practice.
happen at all
It's
then?
not been enforced.
Okay,
Well, I mean, we may still have a check that comes back as a bad check. We're just not
Doing,
charging anything for
over
what it
and
costs
above,
us to do
over and
that.
above what, after we collect?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
which we should.
Yes, for sure.
We're fixing all these problems after 100-some years already, you know.
It's a time to do
Absolutely.
it, you know, otherwise it'll
Well,
be
this-
another
The world
100 years.
gets.
Yeah,
The list is
More
growing,
problems you get.
Carl.
yeah.
Well, you know, we've never had clerk or deputy clerk bring that to our attention before.
Right. There's lots of things. We'll just leave those for another day.
Yeah.
So since we don't have the information on this, I don't know that we can necessarily motion anything.
No, I think this is more for information
Yeah,
and then getting it out there so that if you have other questions, I can get them and I can follow up.
yeah. I mean, I would like to see a plan for us to move forward on this, along with, when we would implement it, how long we would give the public notice of this. That's
Yeah.
going to be very important. I personally would like to see more than a 30-day notice to the public. I'd like to see a 2 or 3 month notice before we initiate something like this.
Whatever's required.
Yeah. But I want to see some sort of plan
Right.
to make this change.
Yep, this is just the start.
This is just for information at this
Yep.
point so that we can.
Mayor, Council, just to make a little note on that. So under Minnesota State statute, you can charge up to 5%. And if you create an ordinance on your charge, you can charge a minimum of $2.50 per transaction. So most places are 3.5% in Minnesota. They charge for fees. So you can charge up to 5%, but you have to have it in an ordinance, and you have to notify the individual that is swiping that they have option to pay cash or credit, or I'm sorry, cash or check. So it'd be pretty easy to put that into place. Yeah, so.
Okay.
So can this be brought back up at our next meeting? Can you make a note, put it on old business then?
Yep, anything that we have a follow-up here, I will add to old business.
Okay. Okay, good, thank you.
That's the way agendas should work.
I mean, right, because you want to know what the outcome was.
Yeah, right.
All right, going to take number H, which is number 4, Abadu Services for completing 23 and 2024 audits. So we'll just get that done right away. Whatever motion, I think we gotta get that done right
Yeah,
away.
so this goes back to the Abdo packet, and right on the very first page is the proposed amounts, they're highlighted. And so basically, this stipulates that for completion of the 2023 audit, it would be $15,000 in addition to what has already
Yeah.
had services. And then for 2024 is $45,000, and for 2025 is $45,000. And again, both of those, for 2024 and 2025, those fee structure is in line with what we've had for previous auditing services. So it's not out of line, but I think that we have all of this stuff in one, provider to get all three of them done, boom, 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 makes the most sense for us facing our, when you look at the timelines we're facing, so.
And with that said, I'm hoping that the 23, 24 budgets included like 30 grand or 35 grand for audits that were never spent yet because they're not done. So
Yeah.
hopefully, at least some of that portion of that 45 is still around. You follow me? Yeah. So it's not totally 90 or $105,000 here that we need to come up with. There should be at least 70 or 80 of that unspent in the budgets of 23 and 24 and 25.
Yeah, the
Unspent.
carryover
Yeah.
from year to year.
Yeah,
It would be included in the carryover, and you
Right.
really can't
right, right.
break it down, you know.
So it's just like something we have to come up with, it should be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, somebody make a motion to just do that.
I will go ahead and make a motion to move forward with Abdo's proposal, so that we can get our audits done.
Motion by Counselor Skirvik, supported by
Support.
Counselor Vrtajnik to go ahead and go along with the Abdu's proposal to get the audits of 23, 24, 25 done with the monetary amounts stipulated here. Any more discussion?
Yeah, so I haven't had a chance to read this, but does it say when they can come up here and start being here in person?
My indication was they are prepared to do that this month for the on-site stuff.
This month
Yeah, like, I mean,
or next week?
we're at the 10th of the month, so.
Yeah, that's why I was curious, because the sooner the better, because I'm just looking at that, trying to get the May start on that water plant.
Yeah.
And it all comes from this.
Yep, I'll talk to Vicki,
Yep.
sent me this, and I will make sure that she understands how urgent we are.
Yes.
Yeah, and
yes,
so
definitely.
in our meeting, that was one of the things that I made very clear, that we are now at a point where not having these audits is now going to start costing the city some very real money.
Yeah, right.
So they understand that 23, 24 are absolute priorities.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Number I is number 8, agreement for professional services, enterprise trail construction. Where do we have that?
Yeah, that was in the working session packet.
It's buried. I got it. Okay, I think we gotta go along with it. Was that 2,200, 700? $22,000?
Yeah, that was,
And that's part of the $100,000, right? Then there's $100,000 of agreement in here with the county paying.
The county,
Yeah,
that's what Matt told us.
but we're talking about the contract fee of 22,700 here, right? That's what I see here.
Yeah, I think it's their portion of going out and getting the bids put together and stuff like that, and then overseeing the project once it starts. That's their portion of that.
yep.
And that comes out of our pocket, I believe. I don't think there's any grant monies that go towards that.
Well, we were only supposed to pay 10,000 out of the 100,000. This was 90/10, I think it was, that whole thing.
Yeah, the advertising comes out of the project.
Oh, the county, yeah, county
So
advertising.
the county is taking care of the advertising portion.
Yeah. But their portion is just the bid preparation and the overseeing of the project once it starts.
This is for SEH.
SEH, yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, we gotta continue on, we gotta approve this agreement, that's all.
Yeah, we do,
Yep.
we do.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement for professional services with SEH for the Enterprise Trail.
Move by Counselor Skirvik, anybody want to support?
I'll support.
Support by Counselor Potenon. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right, under no more old business, we're going to new business. Timesheets to review for previous pay period.
I did not
No,
get
we
that.
have 5, Jay. No, you didn't, I didn't give them to everybody.
They're here.
Carl didn't want them, but you can, if you want to
There,
look at
yeah,
Okay.
Bob's.
yeah.
We didn't do J, which is number 5.
Under old business?
Gee.
Okay, Jay,
Oh,
under,
Toro Workman.
The Toro Workman.
Jay,
We
I
put
thought
that under,
that was under
that's
C, under new
on new
business.
business.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Yep.
yeah, I got it over here under C.
All right. Sorry.
We're done with old business, with timesheets under A, under new business. Review.
Any questions on the time? Either side?
No, council review?
I looked at them. It's better than what we used to get.
Yeah.
It's a start.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these in terms of like from structure standpoint, and I like the information that we're getting on here. I'm not gonna look at the details. I'm gonna assume that administration has looked at the details and approvals. But I'm gonna actually make a motion that we start including these as item B under old business for future council meetings as a standing item.
What's that?
I'd like to have this included as an item B, an ongoing item B under old business for future agendas, so that we can all have, just like with check registers, we give the opportunity to look at each of them and give the focus on them, that we have these as items on an ongoing basis in the agenda.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to recommend that, you know, this sheet, and I recommended this a long time ago, that there was more room to write what they did, because it gets so condensed and there's writing so small, might as well not even write anything, because you can't read it, you can't understand it. So we need a bigger sheet of paper so they can write it more clearly. And I've said this 10 years ago, but, you know, I know, I'm just telling you how long it's bothered me, you know.
So do we just want to take out section D under the consent agenda completely because that says bills and payroll?
Well, that's already an old business, the register.
Yeah.
And we're gonna just add B under that check register thing, review of timesheets, right?
Yeah, I think we can take out item D of consent agenda, because we've moved both of those items to being actual parts of the agenda.
Item D.
Yep, so normally we have a placeholder that says payments of bills and payroll.
So you wanna move
And
that
so-
into old business?
Yeah, because we've already moved the check register onto the regular agenda. So
Okay.
this would be the other piece that would fall in there, so.
Bring D over to B, correct?
Yep.
All right, I'm okay. Thank you, Marion. All right, did somebody make a motion on that?
I made a motion, Bob, did you second it?
I'll second that.
Moved by Counselor Skirvik, supported by Counselor Ponton. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right, B is on-site IT. We got quite a bit of discussion and a working session on that. Couple of variable parts in there. I don't know what part we want to talk about now. I don't know. You want to wait till cut off that tower until other things are solidified, or do that and do other things here tonight, or what do you want to do? What's the council want to do? I'll let you know that I see what you presented to me. It's not acceptable. I mean, but I think it's fixable if we wanted to fix it. But and after 9 years of good service here, those types of things can be fixed. They were never brought to anybody's attention until now. And but if you don't want to fix them, you want to go another avenue, I respectfully see your point, but I don't know if I could, if I'm going to be willing to cancel his contract or whatever, not renew his contract or fire him or whatever the word would be. So I'm not ready for that. I'm ready to fix the situation. Yes. And that's where I'm at, so.
I know we reviewed this in the working session quite a bit, and I want to make a motion that we terminate the present contract for the IT person and notify him in the morning, relinquishing his ID card and letting him pick up his personal belongings and go a different route with IT.
I'll second that.
Motion by Councilor Vrtajnik, supported by Councilor Ponton to terminate our IT contract with our IT individual, and all proper IDs be turned in on tomorrow, February 11th. Any discussion on that?
The only point that I have is to make clear that this will not affect the contract with CIT services.
Again, like I said, I think the situation can be fixed. Apparently the council doesn't feel that way, and that's fine. I respect their opinion, and hopefully you respect mine. And I'm going to have any more discussion. Councilor Vrtajnik, how do you vote? I'm going to roll call vote on this.
Aye.
Councilor Ponton,
Yes.
Councilor Skirvik,
Yes.
Mayor Oberstar, no. Motion carries 3-1. Councilor Vrtajnik, Ponton, and Skirvik voting aye. Mayor Oberstar voting no. All right. C, A5. Toro, I'm looking more at the John Deere that was presented earlier tonight, so, yeah. Yeah, it was,
Did we find out if it had a dump box, electric dump box?
The dump box has hydraulic assist,
Oh, electric hydraulic.
hydraulic
Electric
assist.
hydraulic pump, yeah. So it does have a
I
dump,
read that in the,
it does have a dump box.
yeah.
Yeah, because the other one, we didn't even know if it's still there, available, so I guess this is our only option tonight if we're gonna move ahead with it.
Well, I mean, I think there are some other considerations
benefits,
too.
isn't there? Benefits to this?
I think, yes, this is a good option, but we could also consider, I mean, because essentially this is what is used to go around and service different campsites, deliver firewood. It's a pretty high-use vehicle, and it needs to be reliable. Our current, golf cart is kind of on its last leg, so there is definitely a need to repair. I don't know how critical it is that we have to make this decision today.
Right.
I think one of the other things that we could look at is, I know that there are other options or other variations that are at, like L&M has different options of this style of vehicle. I know that probably Five Season Sports probably has something that's similar to this in a Polaris model. So I think I would like to see a difference between, and I know that it's the time sensitive with the used one. I'm more in favor of going with a new vehicle that's no or low maintenance, just because of where we are with the current equipment. The lifespan of the current equipment for these tasks is pretty much gone. And so it's time for us to replace this. And I think if we were to take a look at some of the other new options, I think that would serve us better.
Yeah, I think we have to go for bids anyway, because it's over, $12,000. So we gotta put it out for, we've gotta look into other
I think
options.
the threshold's
25,000.
25,000. So
25,000.
we're still under that, but I think we still.
Still, we should look for
I
other
did
options.
research on this, and I looked up the Toros, and the used one, which has got 300, close to 400 hours on it, and wondering why somebody would turn it in at that price, so I don't know what maintenance has been done on it yet. I looked at Kubota, I looked at other Gators, and this Gator is coming in at cost, which I don't think we can beat anywhere. I looked at other things that had dump boxes, some have had long, with all the sides on them and stuff like that. And the costs on those are anywhere from $18,000 to $19,000 minimum.
Yep.
So I think that the cost of this brand new one locally is the best deal, and I know what the golf cart is like down there.
Yeah,
It
and
just doesn't work.
the other question I have on this too is so the used one, where's the recommendation? Is this coming from Sam, or is how much influence or kind of support do we have from our campground host as far as what these things are doing?
Nothing from the campground host. Sam just brought me that. He's like, I just happened to cross this thing. I know this workman, rural workman. He also said that he knows the golf cart's about ready to crap out.
Yep.
And that it's not really fixable. And he thought, well, this isn't that bad of a price.
When I
So-
looked at the size of this one also, I mean, you look at the Toro, and it's got a very long box in the back that I don't think you'll ever fill up. But it's a matter of parking it on the inside. And you know how crowded it is inside that
Sure.
garage. So you get a smaller machine that can do the same thing, and I'm sure this can carry a lot of firewood. The Polaris, the
I
John Deere
think
can.
one of the things that I would like to see an option on here, just knowing the variability of working in that environment, is there an option of something that either has a canopy on it or a cab on it? Because the reality is they're doing this work, rain or shine type of stuff, and this is the vehicle.
Does that one have a cab on it?
This one does not, but I would like to see, what the option would be for putting that on there, like if that would increase the cost on it. Because
I'm sure it would increase the cost.
of any of the vehicles that are down there that they use on a regular basis, this is the one that they use when it's raining.
Only trouble we have here, counselors, we cannot do anything with this John Deere, if you want to go John Deere. We have on our agenda Toro Workman.
Yeah.
So we could just skip this and put this on our next meeting then.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And you want to get more information about what other options there are. They
Yeah.
have other types of, I don't know if they're called Gators, but it's like a side-by-side with a
Yes.
little dump box.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So I think if we can have Sam take a look at, obviously this, but to see if what the cost is to add the canopy or the top.
Or just a different machine.
Go to L&M, take a look at them.
Okay.
Go to Five Seasons, take a look at what they have in the Polaris model as well. And so we can get a kind of an apples to apples comparison of what we would do.
Okay.
So moving away from the Toro, skipping over that, or not getting the table, that, just continue, come back. Are we eliminating the Toro? Can we say that maybe, or not? Because of it's not available anyway.
Yeah, it's,
We don't know if it is, and then we have to go with Brooklyn Center.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So I think
we'll just we'll skip the Toro and we'll move on to some other
Come
options.
back with other options of all the other kinds of machines that we can find.
Yeah, I
That
want
are
to make
new.
sure if we're getting a new piece of equipment or a used piece of equipment, it needs to be something that they're going to use. And I can definitely see that our host will say if it doesn't have that top on it, it's going to be a big problem.
I'd move this to the,
Yeah, we're just going to skip it and we're going to bring
More
new,
research.
new information later.
correct,
I'll add it
good
to
idea.
Add it to the regular meeting for approval, yeah. And a working session for more talk. Yeah, yeah. Number 6, number D, call regarding an ice issue, water issue, huh? What is that one?
It's in your packet, there was Kansas,
They fixed it.
yeah.
It's already done.
Wanted to know about it was making this kind of easier repairs,
But it's all done,
so it is.
Yep.
It's just more for information,
yeah.
so that you know. There's really nothing to do.
New York Avenue West.
Yeah.
Yeah, they dug it up in the boulevard. That's the big,
It's done, right?
Yep,
Okay.
it's all done.
I saw it.
All right. Okay. Number 9, number 9, pump replacements for lift station at Rock and Pines and Sparta pump replacement at a later time.
Yeah. So, Sam indicates that the Rocky Pine, pump 1 failed its mag test and pump 2 would need a complete set of seals and mobilizing bearings. At this point, it would be pumped and repaired, in the range of 50 to 75% of the cost of the new one. They'd recommend replacing that.
For $32,000?
And that's for the Rock and Pine, yeah. For two of them. I would-
Two pumps in the same, yeah.
Yeah.
32
I
is,
gave you the information on what the test came back at, too, so you can see those as well.
I looked at the draw, and there's quite a bit of draw on the bad pump. For the amount of amps that it's taking, and also how much ohms that it can handle.
so we have the 16 or the 32, well, the same thing.
The 32 first, because that's the two at Rock and Pine, and he's saying maybe sometime later this year doing the.
Okay. So I recommend council go ahead and we have to do it. Do we do it now, even though this weather? Or no?
I don't know if I know the answer to that.
Yeah.
They should, if they're doing a straight pump replacement, they're pulling it up and putting the new one in.
Yeah, they take readings every day off those anyhow.
Yeah.
I
So-
recommend council go ahead and approve this quote from Minnesota Pump Works.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Moved by Councilor Vrtajnik, supported by Councilor Skirbeck to approve the pump quote from, and replacement from Minnesota Pump Works for $32,359.81 to be replaced 2 pumps at the Rock and Pines lift station. It's not for the Rock and Pines, well, I think it's for the Rock and Pines or for the whole area back there.
Lift station at Rock and
Yeah.
Pine.
Yeah, and that's just the
For
location.
Sparta and Genoa and everybody comes through that lift station.
Well, and Sparta has its own.
I've been down in that lift station.
That,
I know that one well.
Fail, Sparta, and Genoa all come through that lift station. Yeah,
Yeah. Anything on the upper side
yeah,
comes through that.
you're right. It's very important to get that.
Yeah.
And then the Sparta lift station, do you want to put that on a meeting for, in the future?
Whenever he's ready for it.
Okay,
I guess we can approve it, and then whenever they're ready to go, they have the approval.
okay.
Do we do a separate motion for that one?
No, you can add that on, and go on and add it on to this one.
You tell
Could
me.
be a
Either
separate
way.
one.
I think we should do them as two separate ones.
Okay, go ahead, I
So
don't care.
I'll go ahead and make the.
Wait, we gotta pass this one first.
Yeah, we made this,
Counselor Skirvik, supported by Counselor Vrtajnik.
Other way around.
Other way around.
Yeah.
Just see if you're, just see if you're paying attention, Marion, that's all. Motion by Counselor Vrtajnik, supported by Counselor Skirvik. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Okay, now do the 16,000.
Yeah. So then I'll go ahead and make the motion for the pump on Sparta for 16,692.81.
Motion by Counselor Skirvik. Any second?
I'll second.
Second by Counselor Pondet to approve the Sparta replacement pump for 16,692.81 from Minnesota Pump Works. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. All right, number F. Number 10, letter of support for Boys Ford application for bill grant. Is that bill grant, that's for the building of a roundabout or something?
The stoplight, Highway 77,
Oh.
69.
It's a roundabout.
A
We're
roundabout?
talking about putting a roundabout in for 8
Yeah.
million bucks.
I read a roundabout or
Yeah.
something.
At the Y. It's up the Y.
Yeah,
A roundabout in
At the
front of
Y
your
store.
store.
It's at the Y store.
yeah, that
That's a dangerous
intersection
place.
they want.
That's a very
We've had a lot of
dangerous place.
accidents there coming
I used to work,
out of the Y store.
I have seen, in the 6 months I worked up there, it was horrendous.
It's dangerous there,
It's so dangerous.
yeah.
So that's why I put it on here, otherwise I maybe probably wouldn't have, but I just wanted to.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess the only question that I have is, I mean, that's a good 30 miles away from us. Does our support of that project really even
Yeah, I
mean
don't know.
anything?
I
I
don't
think we have a
know.
lot of citizens that drive to the,
Well, I mean, I have a cabin up there, so yeah, I know exactly where it is, but like,
I think it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
yeah,
I mean, we've supported golf courses in
yeah, it's true.
Boavic before, so, it doesn't hurt. If they're looking for it, we'll give them one, okay?
Right, and I
It
think
doesn't
that
cost
if
us
you have
anything, so,
family or anybody that goes through there, the potential for them getting hurt or killed is
No.
high,
yeah.
ridiculous.
It is.
Ultimately, it doesn't cost us anything, so
So,
I'll go ahead and make the motion to support.
so the letter of support's gonna be drafted by you, Lynn?
I have a letter, it's in the working document, I'll just
Okay. So put City of Gilbert stamp on there. All right. Motion by Counselor Skirvik, supported by,
I'll second.
second by Counselor Vrtajnik to approve this letter of support to Boise Ford application. Any more discussion for the roundabout in front of their Highway 169? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Email from HRA regarding increase in fees. Everybody saw that. I got a letter from Shelley up here at the HRA building stating all the concerns that they have at the building, and I don't know what they're asking for council for some help on relieving some of the burden up there. What's the council wish to do on that? I'm just bringing it to council.
What happens if we don't give them any relief?
What's that?
What would happen if we don't give them any relief?
Well, I don't know. They said that they can't pass some of this stuff off to their tenants, they said, by law, and they said some of this money is not in their budget or gonna get it from the federal, so maybe we're not gonna get this money. Then what? Then the insufficient
That's
fund
my
thing will
question.
come in.
That's my
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
I mean,
Come in and speak to me, and she did say that, you know, the HUD was cutting their funding by drastic amounts for them this year, and she just said it's just getting unaffordable, and eventually they would just fold.
Yeah, they
Said
what?
they're running in the red.
They'll fold and tell everybody to move out? An empty building?
I don't see that happening, but, yeah.
Yeah, I,
I don't want to see that happen either, but. That's
this is a very political issue coming from the federal government on down. And again, this is another issue where we're facing an unfunded mandate. The history of this was that any apartment dwelling in the city of Gilbert pays utilities at a fair share of everybody else. And so if we are gonna try and maintain fairness for the rest of our citizens, it says to me that this is a cost that they are incurring, and if we give them relief on it, that's gonna be on the backs of everybody else in town, and I can't support that.
I agree.
Well, what the council can do is say, have the clerk, deputy clerk, write a letter that council take no action on that and state a status quo on the situation.
Yeah, because another thing, you know, we're at like $103 on these base charges. We're gonna have to go up at least another 15 here, probably by the end of this year, to pay for our water plant. So then, we're not gonna give them a third, we're adding another 15, and we're giving them another break. And if you look, their depreciation expense, which is money that you put away for the future, is $139,000. And what they're looking at is 168 in a hole, I believe. So most of that can be paid through their depreciation. I mean, this needs some more discussion. This needs some talking to them and trying to figure out what we can do.
Well, that's, maybe
If
we
they
can
can get
invite her to
funding
come
from-
to a working session. How's
If they
that?
can get funding from another source or increase their funding somehow. I know this was based on what Hibbing did, and I don't know what Hibbing's doing to keep their base fees coming in for all, you know, their dwellers in their, you know, apartments. So this needs more discussion.
We can invite her to a
Right.
working session.
Are
How's
there
that?
other funding sources? Is there a
Yeah.
way for, you know, is IRRR able to put some of this as far as
Yeah.
housing
Right.
authority?
Yep.
Or is there a portion of this that the county can take
Right.
over?
Yeah.
But I don't see this as, we're trying to be made whole on what we've been losing
Yeah.
from utilities out of this particular facility. And so I don't see that this is a cost we can pick up.
I suggest we have deputy clerk invite her to our next working session. How's that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay? And then we have Jason here.
And if you, I don't know if she can look for other sources of income or give us some ideas that we have to look for the sources or whatever, but if you can ask her those questions before she comes and has some information for us at the session next 2 weeks from now.
Okay. And boards and commission discussion, number 12, number H.
This one was mine, and this was simply a review of, and Marion's been probably closest to this one, looking at all of our boards and commissions. Many of the people that are serving terms are expired, and we need to get to either contact them and see if they want to re-up. But then we have a lot of recruitment to do as well. Probably one of the more important ones is planning and zoning. We have one person that we've appointed, but we need to get other people on board on that commission to help do some of the work of governing. And so I'm just kind of looking to update some of that stuff. The other thing that I'll point out is I didn't know if there was a difference in the Housing Redevelopment Authority appointment process, if that was different than what we use for our other boards.
The mayor appointed up there, so if the mayor don't do it no more, council does it.
So it's the
And-
same processes.
They have 5 up there on that board, or 5 or 6 anyway, but one has to be a tenant up there. One of their board members has to be a tenant, but then again, we'll go back to our ordinance that you guys voted on, that the mayor no longer does all the appointments, the whole council can bring appointments to the floor, okay? So that's all our jobs then, okay?
So I guess any of the ones that are out of date, we should look at and say, do those individuals want to reapply, or did they want to be reappointed? That's the easiest pass for some of these, and then we can figure out how many seats we have open for the rest.
You have the cemetery board, and all of them are outdated. And then you have a question about the chair.
Yep. That question, that specifically is, so when we put the new charter in, and Ryan was there because he was on the charter commission as well. To serve on a board, to serve on the council, to serve in any capacity, the first requirement is they need to be a registered voter in the city of Gilbert. And so our current chair of that commission does not fill that requirement. And so that we have to figure out how to approach that situation.
We also have Keith on there. No, he's not around anymore, is he?
No, he's gone.
No, I think he resigned, if I remember correctly.
So that's
He's
not
out
read it
for
out on this one, but
Yeah.
isn't it that if you're on a board and you're a chair or something like that, and nobody, even though your term is up and nobody requests that position from the other people on there, they remain that chair until somebody else can fill it?
That's up to that committee to fill that chair.
Right, and if nobody volunteers for that chair, that person, even though their time is up, stays in that
Yep.
Till
chair.
till
Yep. somebody wants to
And
do-
so if you look at that specific one, Bob Kivila, that name, there's a note next to it says reappointed, but, not reappointed, but serves per 3120. So if somebody,
He's done.
Right.
We, 3 years ago, we approved his resignation.
Yeah.
yeah. But the notation there that they serve per 3120, if the position has not been filled, they can continue to serve on it until we reappoint for a position.
Including the people from out of town that don't vote for Gilbert?
I think we would have to consult our city attorney, but I think the answer would be yes.
That would be only for the new position,
Yeah.
the new board member, not the old court.
Yeah.
Grandfathered in as well.
So I think what you're asking is, could that individual continue to serve because we've chosen not to fill that seat?
Under the grandfather clause,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I would want Brian to weigh in on that, but I think the answer is yes.
Because you know where I'm going, because it doesn't go out of touch. They don't vote in Gilbert.
Right, right.
So that's,
And Kivela, where does he live now?
Kivla resigned 3 years ago.
So he's done, he shouldn't even be on there.
Yeah, it shouldn't even be on there.
Yeah,
No.
okay.
So we got work to do to fill that spot, so once somebody in the council can bring a name forward, to put it on the agenda. Call me or call Lynn to put it on the agenda.
Yep.
At any certain meeting, any time.
Well, and I think there's an opportunity we can make the application process easier too. I mean, right now, it's a paper, you have to print out a piece of paper and fill it out by hand. I think we can put that online
Is
pretty
there
easy.
somebody on the HRA that's coming up here? No, yeah, one coming up in May, Joe Skofich. That's the most recent one.
Do they ever meet or anything?
No, they're here. They're on Indiana Avenue.
Do they meet?
Huh?
Do they ever meet
Oh, yeah,
as
they
a
meet.
board?
Oh, yeah.
Because we never get any kind of report. do we?
Well, so that's,
It's a federal thing.
that's also the follow-up. For anything that's a board or commission, those minutes are supposed to be appearing in our consent
That's
agenda.
what I was questioning.
And so
Yeah.
that's the next step. 'Cause,
Right, yeah.
I want to make sure that we're getting all of that information.
Yeah.
So,
So that's got, coming up, we got do something with that. And he'll put in a piece of paper that if he wants to continue on. They can also do that, sign up for that board, yeah. All right. Anything else on this? Any miscellaneous?
Campground lawnmower has been paid off.
Oh.
All
We
right.
made the last payment, it is now owned free and clear.
That's the big lawnmower.
Yeah, this
That's
is,
the big
yeah,
lawnmower.
this is the big dog.
And it's due for replacement, right?
It looks like it should be. If you take a look at it, it's in rough shape.
What was it, what, 6 years or 7 year?
Oh,
7 years.
5 year? Is it a 5-year payout?
5 year?
Well, I don't know, this shows 4 payments.
In our system, it showed 4 payments.
Oh, so 4-year payoff.
Is that the one sitting in the garage with the flat tire?
Yep, that's it. That's not cleaned or anything else, no?
Okay.
Anything else miscellaneous?
Just wanted you to know.
All right, thank you. Anything else, council? Okay, motion to adjourn is in order.
I will go ahead and move to adjourn.
Second?
Moved by Councilor Skirvik, supported by Councilor Bertosnik to adjourn the council meeting at 7:51. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Good night. We're adjourned.